Don't blink as you blink. Welcome to the Computer Show. Visiting Wops that having a wonderful day. Make sure that we're uploading, making sure that we're filming. Today we're talking about growth. So I have an amazing story for you guys, and it has to do with growth. So today we're uploading a video called BTS. I was making space in my phone because I'm going to start a stable job very soon. I hope. I fucking hope. And if we're starting very soon, I'm going to need more space on the phone. So we're starting to upload aggressively. Um, I love the word aggressively because how can you upload aggressively? I don't even know if you can, but if you can, I just did it, and I did it in a way where I'm gonna be one of the pioneer of aggressive uploading. And I was uploading a lot of videos, which were BTS behind the scene, which is a small part of my day. So, for example, I'll come on the videos and I'll talk about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. What are we doing now? What's up? How's it going? This is my mental space. This is what I'm thinking about. This is the date. This is what's going on right now, right here, right now. This is also the weather, right? So, and I was seeing myself, and it's crazy how much we change in a year. So then I noticed how much I've changed in a year, and I said, okay, well, can we call this growth as a person? And then I was like, well, what is growth in itself? We're on a health journey right now, yes, health, but it's more than a weight loss. It's more than a weight loss than anything else. So we're on a weight loss journey. So I go in to lose some weight. Guys, I'm tired. I'm French. I'm tired. I'm a bit tipsy, so forgive me. Um, so I'm like, okay, well, physically speaking, did we change? The answer is possibly yes. The answer is possibly no. I don't fucking know. But is it enough to call it growth? So it is growth. And for me, growth is spiritually, mentally, and physically. Physically, did we grow? Yes, we got older, we got shittier. Mentally, of course, of course. There's a lot of lessons that we learned last year. A lot of lessons that we learned last year, right? So what else changed? Spiritually, we didn't move an inch, and then I realized that spiritually I've been stuck in a state of eternal youth for so long, right? Am I gonna go on a quest to find my fate? No, of course not. But something is missing. So your body is possibly three things: your body, which is your physical shell, your soul, which is possibly your spiritual shell, and your mind, which is your emotion, identity, what makes you you. Unless the growth on the three of them, then it's not called growth. So I want to come on here and ask for your opinion on that statement. Do you think growth is achievable? See, people will tell me, oh, yo, I just got a promotion. And they'll consider growth. Yeah, it's financial growth, of course. It's a growth in the company, of course. It's actually nice. One of the automatic, I think automatic growth is becoming a parent. Becoming a parent, physically speaking, is challenging because it's going to be showing you how old you are and how much energy the kid have. Mentally speaking, it's a bit dark. Gonna get the light. We started filming like an hour ago, so we started filming when it was a sunset, and the sun has set. Your spirituality, because in itself, the kids can start asking questions and question about life. As an adult, you start questioning life. You just live it. But as a kid, you got so many questions, and that's quite normal. You're a kid, right? So then, for example, your kid asks you a question about spirituality. They have spiritual thoughts already at a young age, right? As a kid, I didn't know. My parents were not very religious. I didn't know who God was, but I knew He was important, and that to me was enough to say, okay, well, guess what? God is watching. You know, that was my perception of fate. I was a simple kid. What if I was a bit more mysterious? What if I was a bit more interested in life? You know? And then with the growth, the thing with the growth is people grow at a different rate. And we all have intelligence. For example, you have this person that's more physical, that they have to do something to learn. Some people are going to be more of a mental. They're going to be more like, okay, well, let me analyze that. Let me understand that before I start doing. They're going to be more thinker. The thinker, the doer. We will always forget about spirituality, you know? And that sucks. That sucks. It's because most people. So this is a good question. Is it because most people don't have such a spiritual journey that spiritual becomes less important? Possibly, but if you look 50 years ago, people were a lot more religious. So somewhere along the way we lost that, right? But somewhere along the way we also lost the knowledge of how to survive in the forest. We lost the knowledge of how to make simple things like bread, sausage, freaking cheese. You know? We lost that knowledge. And that knowledge is lost upon us. It's nuts. One thing that made me ask this question, as simple as this, and I know it's stupid, but The Walking Dead asked me, maybe there's a bunch of things. It was a lot of questions I was asking. When the apocalypse is coming, are you asking help from God itself? You know? For example, Gabrielle. Like, people that have basic knowledge. Like, for example, Daryl in the show. He's done it in the manga, by the way. Daryl in the show knows how to hunt. How precious is that? How precious is it? He's hunting fucking squirrel. How important is that, right? All of those, could we survive? And survival is about three things. Faith, knowledge, and your body. Now, with faith, guess what? Guess what? The better of a human you are, the more rewards you're gonna get from God. Should you be a good person to get reward? No. But a lot of people, what they attribute to luck, other people asking or referring it to divine intervention. For example, you're lost somewhere, and then by some miracle you're walking in the right direction. Because you're walking in the right direction, you're not lost anymore. But did you get lucky with that divine intervention? And then you realize that growth itself is just being open-minded. I am more open-minded because something that happened proves to me that there's something upper. For example, I was in a car crash, which is not true. I'm saying this as an example. I was in a car crash and I survived. Why did I survive? Why did I need to stay alive? Was I supposed to die there, you know? You're not going to blame your body for surviving a car crash. No matter how strong you are, you're not going to survive a car crash. You're not going to bring your knowledge because in that car crash you couldn't do shit. So what's left? Spirituality. You're right. So many good questions. Anyway, food for thought. Let me know what you think.